One. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium and an intuitive life coach. I also run a series of courses on how to channel your guides, angels, ascended masters, and other multidimensional beings. And one of the things that we've learned with our courses and classes is the value and importance of being in a high vibrational state. If you're going to go into mediumship or you're going to go into channeling or any of that type of stuff, it's important you be at a high vibration. And the primary focus of tonight is about the relationship of high vibrational foods and how it facilitates being a good receptive channel for good, wholesome, healthy information from different dimensional beings. And I have with me a guest, Chico Lemos. I'm going to bring him live with us in just a second. And we're going to get right into this on high vibe foods. We'll have lots of questions and answers from you guys as we go through this. So I'm going to bring Chico on now. There he is. Hey, Chico, how are you?
Hey, William, how good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Likewise. I'm so glad you had the time to come out.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah,
Great.
can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Chico Lemosdesousabarbosa. I've been living a high vibrational lifestyle, meaning high vibrational lifestyle is only consuming high vibrational foods for almost 14 years now. I'm a music composer producer. I'm living in a paradise. I'm living an abundant life in a tropical island. And I had a big journey all my life. Um, Everything was about being the best I could be, success, all this kind of stuff. And then life started to struggle for me. Everything didn't go well, although I had everything. I had everything. And then I had this big epiphany. I don't know if I'm using the right
Yeah,
words.
that's it, epiphany.
Epiphany. And it was about, from now on, your life's going to be about sharing. So now I'm here to share what I know, what I experienced on my journey, on this high vibrational food journey that brought me to a life of pure bliss and abundance. And I'm here to share that with everybody who's ready to receive.
Wonderful. As people start to come on, I'll get. Unfortunately, at your end, you won't get questions. I'll get them when they come up on the screen, and when they do come up, I'll read them out to you so that you can address
Mm,
the concerns that people have.
yes.
So, what made you make that transition from regular conventional eating into high vibrational foods? What made that transition happen for you?
Well, for me, I remember what happened was there was a moment in my life. I don't know how it came anymore, but juicing came into my life. Carrot juice. I don't know, you know the story about carrot juice. And what happened? I drank like 1 liter of carrot juice, freshly squeezed carrot juice. And it was like life force just entered my body. It was like, what's happening here? What's
Yeah.
happening? And then I went into a totally habit of juicing. That was the beginning of my journey. That was the beginning. Now, of course, I was still eating a lot of low vibrational foods like most people do. And with low vibrational foods, I mean, just foods, what you buy in the supermarket, your meat, your fish, your packaged food. Um, I came to a point that my health started to decline. I remember I was about 40 years of age and I went to the doctor because I had like little things. And he said, yeah, well, you're getting a bit older. I had like chronic ear infections. And they say, yeah, well, this happens, at a certain age, you get these things. And that just didn't make sense for me. Then I came in contact with high vibrational foods, basically. I remember I was on a holiday in Canada with my family. And we were looking for a vegetarian restaurant because in that time we already became a vegetarian. We were already on that path. We already found out that meat, maybe it tastes good, but it's not the best choice. It's not the
Hmm.
best choice. So we were looking for a vegetarian restaurant and we ended up in a raw food restaurant. And we were like, raw foods? Okay, well, let's check it out. And we ordered a lasagna. And it really looked like a lasagna, only it wasn't cooked. It was made with layers of zucchini and with beautiful tomato sauce. It just tasted delicious. So I ate one, I ate another one, and I ordered another one, and I took a takeout because it was just so delicious.
Wow.
And then I started to get incredible headaches. I mean, incredible headache, really feeling bad. And after searching on Google, we found out that this was about detoxing. And what I found out then is like when we start to consume food, like how creation has presented it to us, when it's not been altered by heat or by fire or by heavy processing, your body doesn't have to work to digest this kind of food. So what is your body automatically going to do? It's going to eliminate all toxins from your body. That's what your body naturally does. And that was causing this headache. Now, this whole realization was such a moment of enlightenment for me, because I never realized I was clogging up and toxifying my body just by being like everybody is.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a society where it's socially accepted that aging goes together with declining health.
Now, yeah, you
It's
mentioned
totally,
you mentioned when you first started foods, just making that beginning, your doctor was saying you had ear problems, other things like that were going on for you. What
yes.
happened to those? What happened to those?
Well, that was the funny thing. They all went away. I mean, I remember since 3 years I was having chronic ear infections. If I didn't go to a specialist every 3 months to clean out my ears, I had bad infections.
Wow.
And then I started to investigate this, and I found out on the internet that there was a relation by using milk products, cheese, milk, and all this kind of stuff, and ear infections and things with your throat. When I stopped this, it never came back again. It never came back again.
How long ago
And
was that? How long ago was that?
this is about 16, 17 years ago now.
So it's been
And
17 years after changing your lifestyle with food that those illnesses have never returned.
no, even better than that, because what happened is I always wanted to do some workout, and I always admired these people who are able to do that. And I thought, how in God's name do they do that? I didn't know where to get the energy. Well, the funny thing was, when I changed it to a high vibrational lifestyle, that energy just came out of me, and I wanted to move my body. And wow, I mean, this whole world just opened up. Like before, I used to create success, but it was always going like upstream, upstream. It was like a war zone. It was like fighting. It was like manipulating reality to get
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
going in the way you want it.
Yeah.
Now it's not like that. I just flow.
Yeah.
And I can tell you a great story about what can happen. I don't even think I shared it with you. 2 weeks ago, I was flying to Amsterdam for my son's birthday, and I'm standing in line for getting for boarding, for boarding, and I'm a member for a quick check-in. So I always go like in a different line, and then the steward, she came to check the tickets, and she came up to me, sir. She said, "Can I see your ticket?" And I show her my ticket. She says, "Sir, you should go on the other line." I said, "No, I'm a member of this." And she looked at my ticket again. She said, "One moment, sir." And she came back and she says, "I upgraded you, sir." She upgraded me to business class. Boom.
Yeah.
These kind of things happen.
Yeah.
Then I arrived in Hong Kong. I had to catch my second flight. I was standing in line again. A lady came to me again. She says, "Can I see your ticket?" She took my ticket. "Oh, by the way, sir, I upgraded you." They upgraded me again.
So let me ask
These
you,
kind of things.
yeah, how do you draw the correlation between these natural, spontaneous, amazing things happening and the high vibrational lifestyle that you have with predominantly with the food? How do you draw the correlation between that? What makes that synergy happen?
For me, what makes that synergy happen is that I always feel like a positive energy flowing through me.
Okay.
It's like I'm smiling at life. And when you smile at life, it will smile back because it's a mirror.
Yeah.
It's a mirror. And that's what I noticed. That's what I noticed. And I got more of these things happening all the time. And like I said before, I used to go upstream. Now things go downstream. I just accept the moment. And that's just one of the things. I mean, the biggest thing is that you really feel connected with your true self. Because when you start consuming high vibrational food, you take part in the unending cycle of life. That's what you're doing.
That's a
You
great
know?
point. That's a very important point you're bringing up because you literally are removing I'll use the term, you're removing by putting live high vibrational food in your body, you're removing the death from your body and replacing it with life in your body. And as Master Jesus
Yes.
said, as you have life more abundantly. And that's
Yes.
exactly what's been happening with you. How long was the transition for you? Like when you started up, I mean, I know the story about the carrot juice because I had a similar experience where I
Yes.
literally drank like a quart of carrot juice. I just guzzled it down and I got this rush of energy. It was like I'd been given amphetamines, and it was like, wow.
Yeah, yes.
And that's
The natural
exactly,
drug.
And I cannot tell you how many times I've told people to go out and juice a 5-pound bag of carrots and
Yes.
gobble that thing down and just take it right down and feel what happens in your body within the next 4 or 5 minutes. It's unbelievable.
It is.
And when your body is feeling charged, you're sending out a different signal to the world, right?
Yes,
And
people don't know because they never experience that level of living. They just don't know.
yeah,
They think it's normal that when you had a big dinner that you have to sit down because you're a bit like it doesn't make sense at all because in essence food is energy transfer. So why would you get more tired? If I put like high quality oil in my car, it's not going to run worse. But
yes,
people make people make the connection with their car, but they don't make the connection with their own form. It's outrageous. It's outrageous,
mm-hmm.
and I really do think that high vibrational food is a big part in the transition of humanity. It's a big part because you will start to feel much more compassion towards everything. I mean, I totally changed.
Yeah.
I used to get into discussions in traffic. People used to cut me off and I used to get really angry. Now if somebody cuts me off, even if they cut me off, I would just think like, oh, they probably are in a hurry. It just changes so much.
Yeah, that's a really good point you bring up too. Like when your body's got toxic food in it, caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, processed sugars, with all of those things in the body. I just want people to hear this. People, your body goes through stress. It's actually under attack from the inside out. These foods are toxic for it, and the body's instinctual nature is fight or flight based. If it perceives something's wrong, it can only respond with fight or flight. And so the body gets on edge like this. So you're snapping at people, you're getting upset at people, not because you want to, but because your system's on preserve mode. It perceives everything as an attack now, because not only is the body toxic inside, but it's your whole world is filtered through that toxicity.
Totally.
And your responses are based on that toxicity. So we place an emphasis on the value of high vibrational foods. And one of the gifts that Chico has given us is he's going to be introducing a process for incorporating high vibrational food into your regular lifestyle to help you phase into a high vibrational lifestyle. And he's got a program called Sunfood Living. And he's got 3 levels of the program of Sunfood Living 101, Sunfood Living 102, and Sunfood Living 103, where he instructs people on how to go from, the old negative way of eating, transition nicely and comfortably and deliciously into a whole new lifestyle. Because that's a common error a lot of people make. The transitioning from conventional eating to high vibrational foods is going to be painful and suffering, and we have to drag them. No, it can be the most delicious journey of your life.
Right? It is, because I'm a number 1 foodie. I love food. I love food. And the thing, when I make food for people, they go like, oh my God, this is so good. Besides that the taste is so good, it makes me feel so good. And like you said, the beauty that we have with this Sunfood Living 101 program, it will take you slowly. What do we do? We start to replace our breakfast for smoothies. That's what we're going to do. So for example, if you have your last cooked meal the night before at around 7 o'clock, and from that point on, if you snack, you just eat some fruit or whatever, then the next morning, I'm going to provide you with the best recipes for smoothies that will make you feel totally satisfied and fulfilling. If you replace your breakfast with smoothies, and you can even drink more than one, and then at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you start eating, let's say, your low vibe foods again, that means that from the night before till the next day, 1 o'clock, you were eating high vibe. That is like 75% of your day. That's 18 hours. 75%. There's a big shift happening inside of you when this is happening. Honestly, there's a big shift happening. And I will give you recipes and shopping lists for every day. So I will just guide you. I will do 2 lives a week. And I will be doing this in the 101 for everybody in the 101, because it's so important for everybody to get these high vibe foods when you get into this mediumship. It's so important. So
it's like what you're saying there. There's also a transition that people need to be mindful of. There is a transition when you start removing toxins, because the body will store a lot of toxins as fat cells in the body. For a lot of people, a lot of overweight bodies are actually toxins the body's stored away because it does not know how to process them. When you start
Totally.
eating high vibrational foods, the body starts to get some energy, and with that energy, it starts to be able to release that buildup from the system organically and naturally. So there's a process you'll need to be aware of, and I think you cover some of that too, right, Chico?
I do, and of course, I'll be there for one-on-ones with people to
Yeah,
help them and guide them. And there are ways to enhance this process and to slow this process down.
yeah, yeah.
So with some people, when it goes too fast, I also have the recipes that it goes a bit
Mm.
slower. So we can do that. I mean, I've been living this for almost 14 years now, and I learned a lot on my journey. And like I said, it's my time to share. It's my time to share because I really think humanity needs this. We need it. We need it
Yeah.
because it will change the world.
Yeah, just so people are that are watching understand what he's got a 101, a 102, and a 103 program, and he's going to be he's going to be pairing up with us to share his 101 program in our Mediumship 101 program, because one of the things my guides and angels told me, it was essential that we focus more on people getting into a high vibrational state as they transition towards becoming mediums or learning to access their guides or angels or multidimensional beings. It's important to understand the value of vibration. It's like I've got a cell phone here that will reach certain frequencies. You've got a radio system that'll reach certain frequencies. Whatever frequency the device is tuned to, whatever frequency your body and mind is tuned to, that's what you're going to be able to pick up. So if you want to tune into the frequency of Master Jesus, his energy is extremely loving, incredibly powerful, and well, for me, it's a lot of heat I get from that energy. But to tune into that vibration, you have to be able to have your mechanism able to do that. Versus a lower vibration. If you want to listen to 1050 chum and you go down and you've got your radio tuned to 750 AM, you're not going to hear 1050 chum no matter how hard you try. But the minute you begin to tune the system, and remember, our bodies are systems. They're receiving and transmitting systems that are organic, that function in very precise ways. When you learn how to adjust that, you can alter. We just lost Chico. When you learn how to adjust the frequency of your body, you can adjust the frequency of what you can perceive with your 5 physical senses and your 5 non-physical senses. And those are the clairs, like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairgustions. Those clairs, you want to tune those up to a higher frequency so you're hearing higher frequency beings. I just going to see what's happening to Chico here. We're going to be taking your questions and stuff in just a moment. Hi, Lorinda. Hi, Tanya. Wonderful. Let's see. I might have to resend him the link here. There we go. Just reconnect on the link. There we go. So we can. So one of the reasons high vibrational foods, high vibrational water. We recommend very specific types of water in the course to keep your energy up. We also recommend remineralized water. I use distilled water remineralized with Celtic sea salt, and it's really good for you. You can create your own form of saline to keep the body with proper electrolytes and things like that. But they said it was very important for us to get everybody high vibrational, because that's the galactic energies that are coming to the planet right now, the cosmic rays that are coming in right now, are the ascension energies that you're experiencing, these headaches, the pressures, things like that, are because the energy is trying to raise our vibration up, and we need to support it by getting the internal mechanism working properly. You want to put more live vibrational foods in. I don't know if I can bring him back on. Let's see if I can still get Chico back on here. Okay. Sorry, just bear with me for a moment, everybody. So anyway, Chico's going to bring his 101 Sunfood Living program into our Mediumship 101 beginner's course so that you get firsthand experience with somebody who's highly trained in their field with a process of incorporating live foods into the diet, high vibrational foods. And as you do that, you will feel a shift in your energy. That shift in your energy and your physical energy makes your body a better receiving and transmitting station. So if I call on Master Jesus or I call Master Buddha, I can send a respond to me. And everybody has this ability. We all have it. We just have to retune our system back into it. Here's Chico again. I'll just bring him back up. Hey, brother, how are you? Just give you a second.
Great. I'm back
There we
again,
go.
I think.
It's all
Yes.
good. Glad to have you back. So I was just saying that when you start to get your body tuned properly, and this is so important, tuning your body from the inside out, so that you can
Yes.
start to tap into your guides, your angels, the multidimensional beings, the beings that can communicate to you telepathically from other star systems. All of this is available to us all of the time, but you have to have your instrument tuned into it. We got some questions popping up too, Chico, that
Yes.
I'd like to. Lorenda's asking, can teeth be healed, helped, and cavities fixed by DIT? Do it. I'm not sure what DIT is. If
No.
so, what are the focus foods or nutrients to focus on?
Well, the whole thing is you have to kickstart your natural healing abilities of your body, because your body is perfection. The only thing is we're interfering with it all the time by consuming all this low vibe stuff. If you look around you in nature, look at the perfection. Look how it goes, the spring, the summer, the winter, the birds, the bees, the seeds, how everything goes. That's pure affection, pure perfection. Whatever created that also created us. Do you think that something had the intention that we would be struggling so much? No. When we get back into the original way of living, and that is having the good thoughts, eating the good foods, all these kind of things, our bodies will just heal. I mean, a lot of people they talk about these foods, about losing weight or health. I think that's just a natural thing. Health, that's natural. For me,
Yes,
the
absolutely.
biggest part of living this way is feeling connected with all that is, and feeling part with all that is, and feeling in alignment with your life purpose. Basically, I'm following my life purpose now, and it gives me so much joy. It gives me so much joy, because most people in the world are just trying to. They're busy with how do you say, collecting stuff just to feel good, just to feel good. Well, I did that, and I had all the stuff, and it didn't make me feel good. This makes me feel good. Sharing. So to come back on your question, when you start to eat the high vibe foods, your body starts to align itself again with your natural state, which is health. Don't expect this to happen in a day, because you didn't came to this point where you are now in a day. This took some time. So it will also take some time. But of course, it can also happen in an instant. It all depends on your state of being.
Yeah, that's a great question. I want to add something that there are natural and unnatural forms of calcium that your body needs. There's also other things that your body needs to combine with calcium, like magnesium, in order for it to produce or regrow or regenerate bone. So I would recommend that you explore that. I'm not a nutritionist. Again, I'm just lived by my own experience and what I know it feels right to my body and my soul. But there are lots of YouTube. The beautiful thing about YouTube today is if you don't have an answer, like Google, you can find it on YouTube. There are lots of beings that are proving that they're regenerating teeth. They'll show you photographs of regenerating teeth.
Yes.
The
Yes.
University of Winnipeg a few years ago had discovered that they could actually regenerate teeth by stimulating the nerve, which is something, of course, Dr. Bob Beck from Montreal proved many years ago when he regrew limbs on cats and dogs. So teeth, every part of the body can be regenerated. Every single cell in our bodies, without exception, has the full knowledge of what it is to be any other part of the body. The DNA strand in every body contains the entire matrix to rebuild your whole body. So if it's getting the right information, the right nutrition, the right food, the right water, the right air, the right sunshine, the system will, as you said, Chico, organically begin to restructure to move to a state of maximal health organically and
Yes.
naturally and easily.
Yes, and I really do think that the whole thing is high vibrational food will, how do you say, will trigger high vibrational thoughts, and high vibrational thoughts will trigger high vibrational feelings, and your feeling is creating your reality.
Yes.
So it's all one big chain reaction, one
Yeah.
big chain
Yeah.
reaction.
And feelings, your emotions will organize your body. You're walking down the street and somebody jumps out and scares you and they go boo, and you find your body just does that instantly. You get startled, right? That's your body responding to the energy that person put out, and that's an emotional reaction your body has to that stimuli. Well, we do it in our heads all the time. We're thinking this thought, or we're thinking that thing, or we're thinking
Mm-hmm.
that about our food, And the emotions will organize your body too. So you want to get the body feeling good. You want to get good thoughts, good ideas. And it's your emotion that will restore a lot in your body in conjunction with the right materials you provide for the body. Because I know lots of people that have difficulty with their weight and are struggling and are making moves, but they've got really positive thoughts, but they're not very happy with their bodies. And they're generally very positive people, but they're struggling because they don't know the process of how to deregulate the way the system's addicted to certain things. Now, somebody's made a comment here about how carbs are addicting. And I'm not so much, do you think it's so much the carb? I think it's more the sugar that's addicting than the carbs.
Yes, I think it's a lot because there are good carbs as well. You know what I mean? They're bad carbs and they're good carbs. If you have the carbs from fruit, they're good carbs.
Right.
But the whole it's the same like people talk about calories, they're bad. No, you got good calories, you got bad calories. If it's
Yes.
high vibe calories, they're perfect. High vibe carbs, they're perfect. It's all that low vibe processed stuff. Like for example, if I take a piece of pasta and squeeze it in my hand like this, then I put on the tap and I put my hand under the tap. When I do this, do you think my hand will be clean?
No.
I don't think so. When I take a blueberry and I squeeze it and I do like this under a tap of water, will it be clean?
Absolutely.
Exactly. But this is the same what happens on the inside of our body.
Yeah.
And people are building all this toxic stuff. And now people don't get afraid and don't think like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. Yes, you can. Don't say like, oh, I can't afford that. Yes, you can. Because also on the 101, I will teach you how to get your produce on a very smart way. That doesn't cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And of course, organic is the best, but non-organic is better than none at all.
That's
so I
correct.
always say to people, better go for non-organic than going for the processed stuff because it's still a step up. It's a step up.
Absolutely.
And you can do this. Yes.
And when you're getting into organic, non-organic vegetables and non-organic live foods will energize your body more than, like you said, the unvitalized, dead processed stuff. And
totally.
It's a transition. When you even on that, when you can step your way into it, it doesn't have to be a really costly thing. It doesn't have to be all organic, but you can transition because when you start to get a body that's feeling better, you'll start feeling better about being in the body, and the way your mind will think and the way you'll perceive things and what you'll do will change according to this. Eventually, you want to get to a place where what you think here changes this, which is ideal. But you got to start from where you are. Start by cleaning your body up, right?
Yes, and when you make that step, your guides and angels will give you the next step. Don't worry about that. It's all about that intention. When you decide, like, I want to do this, the opportunities will come your way. Don't try to think all ahead. Just go with the moment. Just accept. Go with the moment, and you will see things will change. I am 54 now. I feel better than I was like 25. Honestly, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it's the honest truth.
Yeah,
it is the honest truth.
It totally is. I'm 60. I turned 60 this year, so I know that. And for me, I don't feel 60. I don't move like 60. And then it was about 18 months ago. They said, we're going to help you. My angel said to me, we're going to help you rebuild your body, but this is what you're going to have to do. You got to stop eating this, stop drinking caffeine, blah, blah, blah. And this is like 6 things I had to stop. And I stopped them virtually right away. And I noticed a significant difference. And my health is getting better and better and better.
Yes.
Our bodies were not designed to age badly. They weren't that way. They were meant to age with grace and beauty and flexibility. But it requires a level of mindfulness that we have to learn. But most of us are living in social conditions that say this is acceptable. Let's drink that can of Coke, man. Let's eat that bag of potato chips. Let's eat that roast beef sandwich. And even though it's socially acceptable, and it's not socially right. It just isn't.
No. And to me, I watch it, and I just, for me, in my eyes, it's just suffering. People don't realize how much suffering they're creating for themselves. If they would knew how they could feel, I am sure a lot of them would make a change. They would make a change, but they just don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Lorenda, I just want to say something to Lorenda because she's the one who asked the question about the teeth. There is a product, Lorenda, that you can get. That is a very good product. If it's called New Chapters, is the company that produces this, and it's called Bone strength, either bone strength or bone health. That is a very powerful form of calcium with vitamin K that your body will assimilate about 98% of it. And if you've got aching teeth or anything like that, that will start to give your body some meat to work with in terms of calcium. But you also want to start getting rid of the foods that are causing your teeth to be eaten away. Get away from the high acid foods. You can eat tangerines and oranges and apples and grapefruits, and you can eat all those things. And those are acids that aren't bad for your body. They're actually cleansing for your body. So there's lots of foods that you can start to eat that will begin to help you reverse that. But you want to start also putting something that's going to start repairing the damage that's already been done. You might have to go ahead.
There are loads of superfoods out there who can help you. Who can really work on your liver or really work on your heart or on your lungs.
Yeah.
If you look at, for example, go and look on iHerb.com. iHerb, they have a lot of superfoods. They got a big database of information. If you do some research, there are many stuff that can help you.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it all starts with that step. It all starts with, I want to change. I want to be that new person, and you can do that. That's what I know, and I've seen so many people changing their health. I've seen. I knew a guy who had like ADHD. How do you call that? Do I say that right?
What's that?
ADHD.
Oh yeah, attention deficit hyper disorder.
Yeah. Yes, and he was with a psychiatrist and everything. And I affected him with my lifestyle.
Yes.
And he started to implement that. And he went off medication, everything. It was like incredible. It was incredible. And then he went to his psychiatrist. And he told this psychiatrist about this. He said, I got so much energy. I wake up at 5 a.m. I just want to get on my bicycle and have a ride. And what happened? The psychiatrist phoned his wife and said, like, look, he's getting ready for a breakdown. This is a symptom. You have to watch out.
He's happy.
He has to take his medicine again. Please take care. He's taking his medicine.
Yeah.
This is how people are thinking. It's shocking. It's pretty shocking.
I agree with you. But again, that's also just social conditioning for the last 120 years. But the reality is that every single human being, regardless, is free to make the decision. And it's not always easy, but you have to make the decision that you want to thrive. You want your body to be healthy and vital and strong and graceful and supple and flexible. But you got to start putting the right stuff in it. When you start, I mean, I've met people that say, well, you got to watch out for these dark entities are out there. And of course you do if you're at a low vibration, If you're
exactly.
mistreating your body, if you're angry, if you're upset, well, you're going to resonate on that frequency. You're going to pull in energies at that level.
Yes.
Think about this. Every mass shooting that's ever happened is usually the result of somebody who's emotionally at a low vibrational plane. They're angry, they're disappointed, they're depressed, they're sad, they're unhappy, they're isolated. They're in a low vibrational frequency, and they're open to influences that direct them, whether it's through the television showing violent movies. But at a lower vibration, you're subjective to that frequency. At a higher vibration, you're subjective to that frequency. And it's better to be open to higher ideas than it is to be open to lower ideas. And you can do that, start that today by changing what you eat. Come out to our course, get involved in the food program that Chico is sponsoring for this 101 course, and get involved in changing your lifestyle. Learn how to ground your energy. Most people don't even know how to ground, that your body needs to be in touch with Earth. It needs to feel a connection electrically to the planet. Your body's an electrical device. Food is electrical. It's all electrical. And if you're putting in good current, good food, your system's going to do really well. It's very important. I love this story. Talking with the doctors, I've experienced that, where the doctor now thinks the person's in a manic state. But the manic and depression just means the person does not know, or bipolar was another one. Bipolar, the person's either really happy or really unhappy.
Yes.
Well, same as manic depression, and it's only because 1 second you're in a high and the other second's in a low, and you don't know how to control them because your system's all over the place.
Yeah. So and I've seen these things happening a lot around me, when people start changing their habits.
Yeah.
Once again, it all starts with I want to be the best version of myself. And I think for people to get into Mediumship 101, that will really kickstart it crazy. Together with the High Vibe Smoothie program, I mean, it will kickstart you to your next level of beingness. I can tell you that. I've seen it happening. It also happened to me. I mean, I was already in a high vibe state, but doing that course kickstart me up to the next level. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
This course, there are divine beings, there are angels, there are cherubim, there are seraphim, there are multidimensional beings, there are beings from other planets, there are beings that are low vibrational, dark entities that are there too. It's all here. But what are you going to align yourself? Our course is designed to take you to the next level, to your next level, to wherever you're willing to go. And we've been told to place an emphasis on high vibrational eating is important. Learning to ground, learning to get out in nature, learning to do things, and we teach you different ways you can actually ground your energy to get connected to yours. Even if you're in the house and it's freezing cold outside, there's a way you can learn to actually ground your energy directly to the earth from even in your own basement. So you wanted to, if you can, come and take these courses, change your life, learn to connect to divine beings. My life has been completely changed in the last 2 years since I've been involved with Master Jesus and Buddha and my guardian angel John and many others. It you don't have to be alone in this your desire to find
No,
happiness.
and that's the beauty, I think, because you will find out you tap into a community when you get into these courses. It's like a whole community, and everybody is high vibrational. So
Yep.
if you like it or not, they will pull you up as well.
Yeah, yeah,
They will
yeah.
pull you up as well.
We got some really amazing mediums in the program this time, and
Yes.
we got a few new mediums, and we're running another leg of the course, which is very different. And you want to be around people that reflect what you want to experience. Is that my little angel talking to me? Is that you talking to me? We have this beautiful little Yorkie. I'm going to show her to you because she's talking to me. So when a creature talks to you, when it wants your attention, say hi,
Aha.
Tika.
Oh, he's
Mm.
cute. Well, I've got a few dogs here. They're not as cute as those.
Anyway, we got some more questions here, Chico. Um,
Okay.
let's see. How about Tanya's asking, how about brown pasta versus white, at least to start?
Of course, it's always a step up. When you go from white bread to brown bread, when you go from meat to fish, when you go from vegetarian to vegan, I will always encourage every step. Every step I will encourage. But what if I can show you that you can make pastas of zucchinis
Oh
that are
my God.
totally high vibe and are
Yeah.
totally great? Because that's what we're going to do in the Sunfood Living 102. The 101 is just about helping you making those first steps. And then the 102, we're going to make like proper, how do you call dishes? But
Yes.
dishes, I mean, if I would encourage anybody of you to go to my page, Sunfood Living, on Facebook, Sunfood Living. Look at the pictures there. Look at the pictures and tell me if you're not getting hungry. Because
Exactly.
that's what we're going to do in the 102.
Yeah.
So you will be able to make these delicious kind of food. So you can choose the brown pasta, or you can even step it up. You choosing the brown pasta now because that's all you know. That's all you know to make a step up. But if
Yeah.
I will show you other stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if you would try that as well. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah. I gotta say the dishes are absolutely amazing. Go to Chico's Facebook page, Sun Food Living. It'll blow your mind some of the foods that he made there. I particularly we make our own versions of what he does too. Like that, we do the zucchini
Hmm.
pasta where we make a pasta. It The cleanup is always easier when you're working with real food. That's something else I want to say. When you're cleaning up afterwards, it's
Yeah,
always easier. Everything cleans so easy. That's nature because nature is easy. It's not complex. It's a smooth flow. But you do
that's beautifully
process.
said.
You're scrubbing pots and pans and you're working on it.
Yeah,
It's insane. Um,
yes,
let's see
true.
what else I got here, question wise. But yeah, a step up, Tanya. Always take a step up. Um, Lorinda, I believe that everything can be healed naturally. I have changed my diet to mostly vegan and green. Oh, that's wonderful, Lorinda. Navid is asking, how exactly do you identify a high vibrational food or drink?
A high vibrational food is a food that has not been altered by heat or fire or heavy processing. So, for example, um, if your body gets more warm than 45 degrees, I don't know how much it is in Fahrenheit, but if your body gets more warm than 45 degrees, you die. That's no difference with food. When you heat up the food, you kill all the enzymes. Maybe some of the vitamins will stay intact, but you need the enzymes to get the vitamins into
Yeah,
your system.
yeah,
So the enzymes are gone. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense anymore.
Mhm.
So, for example, when no, like I said, processed foods, sodas, drinks, foods that are packaged up. I mean, if you buy food and it stays good for a month, what in God's name did they put in that food that it stays good for a month?
Yeah.
Natural food doesn't. I mean, if I make a smoothie now and I drink it tomorrow, I don't even like it that much anymore. If I make a smoothie, I want to drink it now.
Yes.
It's fresh,
Yep.
fresh food,
Yep.
fresh
Yep.
foods. Um, Processed food,
But
yeah,
if
more.
somebody prepares, say they prepare their smoothie the night before, they're still going to get are they still going to get benefits from it the next morning?
Of course, they're gonna get the benefits, of course. But don't forget, like, I am totally spoiled, of course. I want the best of the best of the best
Yeah.
because yeah, I just taste that. But if it doesn't fit in your program to make your smoothies in the morning, it's the same like organic or non-organic. Do it the night before. It's better to do it the night before than not doing it at all.
Yeah.
That's much better.
Now a question I've heard people ask is, asked you. I've heard them ask you this before. You live in this beautiful tropical island paradise down in the Philippines, and you got
Yes.
all this wild natural food, papayas and coconuts growing around you. What if you're in like a big city like Toronto or Amsterdam or New York or LA, and you've got
Yeah.
all this city stuff around you? What do you do about that?
Well, for 12 years, I only been living here for like 1.5 year now. So for 12 years, I was living in Amsterdam, and that's like New York or Toronto. That's cold environment, Nordic environment, and you basically, I think I can get even more fruits there than here. Okay, here the quality is better, but there, because it's such a big city, they will import it from all over the world. I can get fruits from all over the world. The good thing is, if you go to markets on a Saturday, for example, on the end of the day, they want to get rid of their produce. And you can
Yes.
buy this stuff for really cheap prices.
Yeah,
And what I
even
noticed as
organic,
well, yeah, even
even
organic.
organic.
What I noticed as well, when you got like bananas and they got like brown spots on them, they'll sell them to you cheap. But you want to eat them with the brown spots because that's when they are at its best. They are full of sugars and they're easy to digest. I mean, if you eat 5 green bananas, you will feel it in your belly, not in a comfortable way.
Yeah,
They need
yeah.
to be really ripe bananas. So there are many ways to get these foods in these climates for low cost prices. But I will also educate people in that in a 101. I will tell them my tricks, how I did it, and I was able to do it. I was able to. So if I can, you can.
Yeah. Now, V, I want to give you something else you can try in terms of another way to tell the difference between a high vibe and a low vibe food. There's a process called muscle testing where you can literally test the strength of your arm, and you could take an apple in a grocery store. Okay, get an apple in a grocery store, put it over your solar plexus, and then have somebody press down on your arm. Have somebody press down on your arm while you hold that apple over the solar plexus, and then you turn around and go and get a bottle of Javex and hold it over your solar plexus. You can test different foods this way. Your electromagnetic field in your body will know what's right or wrong for it. You can test apples. You can test watermelons. You can test that food. You can learn to test it just by the way your muscle system changes. I don't have to go into it in great detail. There's a wonderful book called Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins that goes into a great deal explaining how muscle testing works and the benefits of being able to talk to spirit and source through muscle testing as well. But that's another way you can identify what foods are right or not right, because some people will need more of the sweeter vegetables. Some people will need more of the bitter foods. It's again, there's other facets to this too. But we're going to focus mostly on live vibrational food in the course. Um,
Well, the more bitter, the more detoxifying they are. That's the whole thing. For cleaning out the body, the really bitter stuff is really good.
okay, now Naveed is saying, "Hey William, you said that you were a heavy drinker smoker for many years in the past. Can you explain what exactly you did in terms of changing your habit and so on, and how long uh, did all? I presume that's going to be how long did all of that take?" Um, I was a very heavy drinker and drug user between ages 12 and ages 25. Plus I was a methamphetamine addict, so I used needles at that point in my life. So I was a heavy smoker for 30 years, and the change for me when I made a statement to myself, the beginning change, and over the next 10 or so years, the transition unfolded. But I didn't have the kind of guidance and support that we're providing you guys with with the people we're involved in. I had to do this pretty much on my own, and through personal experience. But at age 25, I was realizing I had to change or I was going to die. And I started smoking a little bit less. I started drinking a little less. I got away from methamphetamine. And then I went to a class where I was actually had the first time in my life I had the thought that I'm a loving and lovable person. Up to that point, I didn't think I was very loving or lovable. But when I started to change what I was thinking about myself, that was when it began. When I began to realize maybe I'm not who I think I am. And I started changing my thinking. When my thinking began to change, I began to change things that I did. And the people I was hanging around with, it started to all change. So the first place it started was up in your head for me. And even with Sunfood Living lifestyle, it's important. It has to start up here. And then you have to maintain it up here. So over the next 10 years, from age 25 to 35, I got into live foods. I got into juicing. I got into the difference between health and mentality, the difference between positive thinking and negative thinking. And it was an ongoing process that by the time my guides and angels started speaking to me directly about 2 years ago, I was ready to make the final last transitions to give up caffeine, and to give up a few other little sugary things that I used to like. But it was a process that the more you become aware and start to experience the changes, the more you want to do it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, because I've crossed through that threshold, and I want to save all of you as much time as we can possibly save you. Don't wait until you get, you're 58 years old when you start finally make the last go. You can do it right now. We have a team of people that will support you. We have a community of people that understand what it is they can do to support and help you on your journey. And that's because community feeds us all, right? Community feeds us all, and you need that. So again, it was a journey for me. But you don't have to take my journey. You can take shortcut. Listen to us. I know.
And I also like to add something on this. I used to be like a pot smoker for 25 years, all day long pot smoking. Even when I went into high vibrational foods in the beginning, I was still pot smoking. But the high vibe foods brought me also to the moment that I let go of that. I let it go. And that was one of my biggest things in my life, letting go of the pot, because, that was just a part of me. It was a part of me. So once again, these courses and the high vibe foods, if you're willing to make that shift in your life, things will start to happen. And
you got to choose it consciously. It's not going to just happen for you.
Yeah.
And is it hard sometimes? Yeah. When they told me I had to give up caffeine, I stopped, and took about 24 hours. I started getting these really intense headaches, right? And they said it's just the addiction. The body's now trying to make you stay on the addiction. It wants that caffeine. After 72 hours, the headaches were gone. My energy went up. And I'll tell you, whenever I tried to channel with caffeine, I lose connection. You can't tap into higher vibrational frequencies on a lower vibrational energy. It's a contradiction in terms of it won't work.
It's funny that you say that, because 3 weeks ago I was in Hong Kong, and I had such a crave for an espresso. I hadn't had one in extremely long. I don't drink coffees, and I was so tired, so I took one, and I just took one sip and I threw it away. It was just a memory in my mind, of that moment, but it just felt like an invasion of confusing energy, like ooh.
Yeah. That's a good point you bring up. A memory in your mind. How many times does our memory direct our actions rather than we choose what we want to do? Most people are living in their past in the present. Very few people actually live in the present moment. Most people are living in a past, present, or a future past. You want to learn to live in the present moment so that you can make choices and stand by them. Don't let your past get in the way of your present. It's not much fun. You're just repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes.
So Chico, how can people get a hold of you to learn more about your Sunfood Living program?
Well, I would advise people to, if you go like my page, Sunfood Living on Facebook, In there, you can you can find out about my website, Lemosdesousabarbosa.com. There you can read about the courses. Um, Go to my Instagram. I'm just starting to build up my Instagram as well. It's called Sunfood Living. And of course, you can send me a message, and I will always be there very quickly to give you a personal answer on that. Um, yeah, looking forward to share. And I just want to say one more thing. So like we have the Some Food Living 101 where we do the transition. The 102 is where we're going to make these delicious high vibe meals, and the 103, I've changed that a bit around. We're gonna focus totally on making high vibe treats and sweets. So that's gonna be like all this yummy dessert stuff, because it doesn't mean that you're going to be eating rabbit food. You can still eat like beautiful cakes. You can eat chocolate and all this kind of stuff. Only it's high vibrational stuff. So that's what the 103 is going to be about.
Ooh, yeah, I love the desserts, the high vibrational desserts. A lot of people think, oh, I got to give up my desserts. Man, oh man,
No,
you don't have to
you
give up
don't
your
have to.
desserts. There are things you can make
No.
desserts that will blow you away. We have a hot chocolate recipe that's completely organic, non-toxic, and we love
Yeah.
it with dates and cacao. It's just amazing.
Actually, that was also one of the biggest things that helped me going transitioning into this lifestyle, because you can eat all these guilt-free desserts. Guilt-free, because normally when you eat that kind of stuff, you eat it, but at the back of your head, like, I shouldn't do this too much because it's not too good. Can you imagine like eating sweets and eating more and more and more, and it's okay. You can do that. You can
Yeah,
do that.
we can totally do that.
Yeah.
Chico, I'm so grateful that you were able to take some time out of your schedule to do this. I know you're building the new house and you're in heaven right now. You got the sun coming up and the beaches are there.
Yes.
It's wonderful. I'm so grateful you took the time to spend with us and share your story with us and to share your program with us.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I want to say thank you to everybody. I don't see. I'm just check. I'll take one more check and see if any more questions have popped up. Um, let's see. Um, okay. What exactly does high vibrational foods help with in terms of the spiritual process in enhancing your clairs and how?
Well, maybe that's a good question for you.
Absolutely. When you consider that your body is an electromagnetic substance, it generates an electrical frequency. When you take a substance like an apple and you put it in your body, you're getting living energy that goes in the body. Electrically, it's active versus, say, an apple pie, which is electrically inactive. It doesn't have an electrical charge to it. So when you eat a live apple, it actually goes into the system. It adds energy to the system. It doesn't draw from the system. Whereas the apple pie will draw from the system because now the body has to work on processing all the sugars and that are unnatural, the breads that goes in the pie. It's electrically negative. It draws from your system. The idea of adding more energy to the body in the form of live foods, you increase the clarity of the vibrational frequency of your electromagnetic field, which in turn allows you to perceive different frequencies of energy with your five physical senses. You become more sensitive to higher frequencies of energy. Your electrical energy is more expanded, not contracted. It's like um, if I was whispering to you right now, that would be like low vibrational food versus high vibrational food allows my frequency to go out. I'm going to be heard. I'm going to be felt. My presence will be noticed. Your energy goes up. And people who are healthy and vital, you know it when they walk into a room, that they radiate it. So it will change your electromagnetic frequency. The minute you incorporate live food, you're putting more life in the body. Hope that answers your question. And if you got more life and the body's clear, you'll see better, you'll hear better physically and spiritually. Because when these senses are clear, the corresponding senses begin to clear. Clairvoyance is connected to sight. Clairaudience is connected to hearing. Claircognizance is connected to thinking. Clairgustance is connected to tasting. Clairsentience is connected to feeling. And when those are sensitized, supercharged, you're more aware of the non-physical ones as the physical ones begin to get corrected through the high vibrational foods. Hope that makes sense and addresses your concern. Um, Lorenda's saying thank you to both of us. Zane is saying, do you have any advice for a being who has most? Do you have any advice for a being who has had most of the small intestine removed due to an accident?
Well, that is something. Yeah, that is. But the advice that I have is choose what's best for you.
Yeah.
That's the only advice I can give you. And take it from there. You will improve. You will feel better. There's no doubt about that. There is
Yeah.
no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Make that step and start to experience it.
Yeah. There are lots of people that have moved into a different lifestyle, missing parts of their anatomy, and are able to elevate their energy levels up. Because remember, your body isn't who you are. You can redefine your body and how it functions. There's a gentleman in Australia that I just read the story of yesterday, who was in his wheelchair for 25 years after he was hit by an 8-ton truck, and his spinal cord was severed around C12, and so he was paralyzed from the waist down. And about a year or so ago, a doctor got in touch. He got in touch with a doctor who thought, let's see if we can help you regenerate your movement. So he began to teach him visualization and guided meditation, and the feet, all of a sudden toes started moving. Now this guy's up walking, and now he's running. I wish if I had the time I'd pull the article up. But now the guy's running. Your body is a servant, and when you give it in proper instructions over a period of time, it will start to function differently. But you have to repeat. He has to reteach his body, all the cells, to pick up the functions that were lost when the spinal cord was broken. But all the other nerves, all the other cells have a knowledge of how to walk. They have a memory of how to run. They have a memory of how to open and lift your legs. So in conditioning his mind to focus on a certain way, the cells in the body began to accept his idea, his visualizations, his meditations as real. So for you, in terms of your small intestine, I would suggest this to you. Start telling that person or whoever they are to tell your body it's got a perfect digestive system. Really feel that. Go into the feeling of a perfect digestive system and stay with that. Your body can do things. I mean, scientists they're scratching their head down in Australia about this guy now running around who's in a wheelchair for 25 years. Your body is an instrument. If something's broken or damaged, you can reprogram different cells to pick up the functions of other cells because they have the knowledge inside them. Every cell in your body has stored within it the knowledge of every other part of the body. It's just that some of them aren't specialized for certain things. But you can condition it through visualization, emotionalization, imagination to train cells to take functions up that they wouldn't normally. That's the process I understand from my personal experience. That's what I would suggest is really, instead of something being wrong, focus on perfect digestion and stay with that. And then put lots of living live food in your body so your body has something to build with. And please share your results with us. If you apply what we just said, share your results with us.
And
Raphael said he would help you too. Raphael said he would help you as well. So please call on Raphael. He will work with you on that. And the Raphael's very amazing.
And he helped me a while ago. I woke up with tooth pain. And then I just started to visualize it as whole and healed. And I asked Raphael, please help me. Directly, I felt the pain going down. The next day, I had only 20% left of the pain that I had the night before.
Wow.
So that was with Raphael.
Yeah. I know I just got a call from my father-in-law today. He's 91 years old, and he was down here over the Christmas holidays. And while he was down here, he told us that they've diagnosed him with some sort of cancer, and that he'd have to go to X-ray. And I'd forgotten about that until he called me today. But during the time he was here with me, he was standing beside me while I was doing some work, and we were talking. And he had this big swollen gland on the side of his face, and it was really bothering him. And I just called Archangel Raphael and said, Archangel Raphael. I didn't say it out loud because my father would think I was strange because he's not down that road and he's old school. And I just called Raphael, and literally my father-in-law right beside me suddenly goes, oh, and this whole lump in the side of his throat just was gone, like in seconds. And I just got a call. I just got a call from him today. The thing that they diagnosed is gone.
Wow.
It's gone, right? right? And he's happy as it can be, and so are we, right? So you can call on Raphael to help you with that. There are things that the angels can help you with that we can't on this physical dimension. I mean, we can learn to. Master Jesus could teach people to heal profoundly on this dimension. And there are many beings on this realm now that can heal like Master Jesus and are healing like Master Jesus. Many. So call on the angels too. I think we got another couple of questions popped up too. Zane says, thank you. I sense angels at work on this call. Yes, that's wonderful. Yes, miracles are natural phenomena of higher frequencies of energy interacting with lower frequencies of energy. Yes, please do, Zane. Zane says he'll share. Lorena, Bruce Lipton, scientist to look up. Yes, Bruce Lipton's really amazing. Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza, Greg Brayton. There are so many shamans and angels embodied right now on this planet that can really empower you energetically. I mean, they work through us all the time. They work through Chico. They work through me. They work through our entire. They work through and for everybody if you allow it. And our mediumship courses, if you want to know more about them and learn to allow the angels to come into your life, you can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. If you've got any questions or concerns that we haven't addressed today, you can email me at williammichaelforbes59@gmail.com, and I'll address your questions and concerns as best I can. And Chico, is there a quick way they can get a hold of you? Is it just through Sunfood Living?
Well, like I said, Facebook, Sunfood Living, Instagram, Sunfood Living, and my personal site is Lemosdesousabarbosa.com.
Wonderful.
And of course, yeah, you can reach me there.
Wonderful. And we've gone over our hour. I want to again, Chico, thank you so much for taking time out of paradise to join us here and share your experience. And I'm going to wish you well and a wonderful day. And again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedule, for giving us the gift of your focus and attention. I hope that you've received something from this. And I look forward to seeing you on our next live, which I believe is going to be this Wednesday, which is the Twin Flames Living in Service. And we're going to be bringing through Lady Portia and Saint Germain on Wednesday. And I'm really excited about that because I've actually, I'll tell the story about how I actually met Saint Germain when we do that live. And when I bring him through, he's going to have a few things to say about that as well. So again, thank you for your time and your energy, and much love to all of you. And I wish you a beautiful, joyful evening, morning, or afternoon.